Welcome back, or welcome in if you're new here. I'm Elise Dumo, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 nutrition need-to-knows if you are a college athlete or an aspiring college athlete or just want to figure out how to be better at nutrition. And before we get started, please sure to check me out over on TikTok and Instagram, both Elise Dumo or at Elise Dumo Films if you want to see my wedding videography here on YouTube. And a quick announcement, our videos are going to be changing from once a week to once every 2 weeks. I have some super cool news. I have a new full-time job as a social media manager for my local church and for the volleyball club that trained me while I was growing up. So my life is super busy now as a newly married woman and just lots of stuff. So I want to make sure that I can still deliver some really good high quality videos for you guys, but they're just going to be every other week now. So thank you so much for your support. Without further ado, let's get started. I think it's fitting that I'm going to eat during this. So before we get started, I want to remind you guys that I am Elise Dumo, not certified nutritionist Elise Dumo. These are just tips and tricks and just information that I have gathered throughout my years of being an athlete from lots of other nutritionists, professionals in the field. So this is kind of what I use as like my rules of like how to be a good athlete and how to fuel myself to be a good athlete. You might find conflicting information other places, but let's be honest, the whole world of nutrition and diet culture is always changing, and fat was a bad thing 10 years ago and now fat is a good thing and whatever. So take this with a grain of salt. You can take my advice or you don't have to take my advice, but this is my advice, so I hope you enjoy it and that is helpful for you. Let's start with point number 1. Let's talk about water. You need to be drinking much more water than you think you need to. Think about how much water you drink right now. Yeah, it's not enough. See this? This water bottle is half a gallon. I try to drink 2 to 3 of these a day. I'm really good friends with my bathroom because I'm always in the bathroom, but it helps. Helps with your digestion, helps with your general health, helps with your skin. It helps with so many things, and it also helps prevent you from overeating. This, I'm sure you guys have seen this before. This is a hydro jug. I love these things. If you guys want to, you can use my code for 10% off, Elise Dumo. I'll leave a link down below for it. I love hydro jug. I work with them very closely. I'm not being sponsored for this video. Our contracts don't extend over to YouTube, only on TikTok, but you should check them out. I love them. I have 3 of them. Drink your water. It's super important. Need to know tip number 2, proteins, veggies, and carbs. Focus on eating lots of those. You should be stocking up on protein after you're done working out. Carbs are your friend. Good carbs, good grains, whole grains, pastas, breads, things like that. Nothing super processed. And of course, veggies. When I was in college, I ate a lot of protein and a lot of carbs and starches. Like pretty much the only thing that I would eat was like meat and potatoes or meat and rice. I did not really focus a lot on veggies, and that's something I really regret. Get in the habit now of eating your veggies, eating your proteins, and eating your good carbs. And these things don't have to be fancy. I think a lot of people have this kind of like idea that you like to be healthy, you need to have all these healthy, fancy foods. Like you don't. Like it's actually really quite simple. You can have chicken with rice and broccoli, and it can be like seasoned really well or something like that. Or you can have steak with potatoes and asparagus. I think the big point is like actually having produce. When we live in a world where we're constantly having processed foods, and it's super easy to always eat processed foods. I even have a problem with it sometimes because I'm like, oh, well, Popeyes is down the street and it takes me no time. But seriously, to be a good athlete, you need to fuel your body right and give yourself enough energy. So really focus on getting your protein, getting your grains, like carbs, all that kind of stuff, and getting your veggies. Nutrition need to know tip number 3, eat often. Remember, as an athlete, you need to fuel your body. Eat breakfast. Oh my gosh, eat breakfast. Unless you're one of those people that like throws up at the factor breakfast, like don't throw up, but like eat breakfast, eat lunch, and eat dinner. Breakfast is my biggest meal by far. I absolutely love breakfast. Lunch is my medium meal. Dinner is usually my smallest meal, unless I'm having practice after dinner, then dinner will be a bigger meal, but it depends on how much time is between practice and dinner. Anyway, eat all 3 meals. Especially if you're a college athlete, you are burning so many calories. You will not be able to play at your best if you haven't eaten. I know so many people that are like, oh, I don't want to be the big buff person and get like huge. Like, you're gonna be working out a ton. Your body's going to change. At least like help your body feel good, because if you're not fueling your body, that's how you're gonna get injured, and that stinks. So eat well, and eat often. Also, don't be afraid of snacking. If you're having like a lift in the morning, a conditioning in the morning, and then practice in the afternoon, like, you're gonna need that energy. Don't be afraid of grabbing a PB&J like between classes or something like that, or grabbing some goldfish to snack on. I always snacked on goldfish. I literally love goldfish. They're probably not the best, but we're young. I assume that if you're watching this, you're probably a young girl, or you know a young girl, or are a young athlete, and you want to do well. You as the athlete will not get to where you want to be if you are hungry. You will not be able to focus and practice if your body is hungry. Your brain can be there, but your body won't be able to perform at the level that you want it to. So please eat. Nutrition need to know number 4 for athletes is just the word diet. Take the word diet and throw it out the window. As long as you are an athlete, the word diet should not be in your vocabulary. Heck, honestly, even outside of that, the word diet should not be in your vocabulary. Your goal should be to perform at your highest level, not to lose weight. And you're fueling your body well in a way that it's going to perform well. So you're eating your fruits, you're eating your vegetables, you're eating your proteins, you're eating your good carbs, your good whole grains, and you're drinking water. Your body will change to what it needs to look like. If the only goal you have for your body is to be smaller, then maybe you shouldn't be an athlete, because being an athlete is way more demanding on your body than just wanting to lose weight. If you want to be that starting player, or that all-conference girl, or an All-American, like, in your head, you need to be completely focused on getting so good at your sport that you're just rising above everybody else. If you're focusing on how to lose weight, your brain's not in the right place already. So get the idea of dieting out of your brain, because I promise you, the girls that are fueling their body right, eating enough, they will be better than you on the court, on the field, and they will pass you. And so this is where you need to think about what's more important to you, being skinny or being the athlete that you've trained your whole life to be. After a while, being skinny doesn't seem as fun as eating well, eating the food that you want to eat, and then being dang good at your sport. And lastly, nutrition need to know tip number 5, moderation. It is okay to have your fried chicken, to have your cookies, to have your no-bakes. Those were really popular at my school. To have your pie, to have your cheesecake. I'm getting hungry now. It's okay to have all of these things every once in a while, in moderation. But pizza, as an athlete, should not be the center of your diet. Neither should junk foods like chips, Doritos, gummy worms, candies. Those things should not be normal day-to-day things that are in your diet as an athlete. Those are cool to have as treats every once in a while. We also have to realize that as athletes, we have a responsibility to the organization that we're representing, to not only make sure that we're eating, but that we're eating well, and we're eating good produce, wholesome foods within your own dietary restrictions, because I know that people have different needs, allergies, all that kind of stuff. Don't hate yourself if you want to go get some cookies or ice cream or whatever. It's okay to enjoy food. You're working super hard anyway. You're working your butt off. Have a slice of pizza if you want one, but not every day. Bonus tip, stay away from sugar. I know it's not really news that like sugar isn't the best for you, but I really recommend staying away from it if you possibly can. Even if you're like, yeah, I don't have a brownie like every single day, or I'm not eating a ton of sugar cereals every single day for breakfast. If you're having a caramel frappuccino every day, that's a problem. Like over time, like that will come back to bite you in the butt. If you're gonna be intaking sugar into your body, I think it's much more worth it to like take in sugar as a solid, like as cake or cheesecake or brownies or cookies, like to actually take it in as you're eating it, because drinking sugar, it's so addicting. Sodas, when that's like a staple part of your, like what you're drinking is sugar, like that really has a huge effect on like your performance and on how your brain thinks, because once your brain gets used to that much sugar, your brain wants that much sugar, and you can't perform well or be really healthy when you are dependent on having a ton of sugar in your body. Trust me. Or don't trust me. You don't have to. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It was super great to see you guys. Leave some comments down below if you have any questions about what I said, or any feedback, or any videos that you guys would want to see coming up soon. It was so great to have you guys in, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.